right, good morning everyone. Saturday morning. Let's make this a regular thing. Saturday morning wash and talks. I'm gonna get set up here and get to washing. My house is getting a little closer. My cabinet should be here this week. So soon we'll be doing some driveway washes. Plus we did some pavers at the house. So that'll, I'll show you that in the moving vlog next week. I'll do my 2-week updates. I was planning on going and driving my E36 today, doing the first drive, but the tires are like ready to fall off the bead because the thing's been sitting there for 5 years. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna order some new tires for the stock wheels, get those put on, so that way at least I can drive it around. I ordered a set of style 24 wheels, which are the lightweight types. I ordered a non-stamped with a polished lip version. The lightweight wheels are impossible to find. We'll keep an eye out. We might find some someday. But for now, I'm gonna have those. And then I ordered some 17-inch, they're called E87s from BBS when they're 17-inch, but it's an E88. So this is my third wash, and I've got like this much. Is this my third or my fourth? I think it's my third. The GSF. Have I mentioned the GSF is awesome? A little bit more. A little bit more. Do a couple of sprinkleroos in here. Somebody was asking me how much I put in the bucket. I said, I have no idea. Just some in the bucket. Oh man. Slowly but surely getting all my cars up to the standard. You know, from moving the last couple of months, I've been pretty lax on getting everything set up. So I generally like to fill up the foam cannon first before I get moving. We'll do the wheels. The one problem I have is that I have too many cars to park. Right? I can only fit 2 cars in here. Maybe I should try to fit a 3rd car in here. But I can only fit 2 here and then 3 at the house. And so whatever car I've been driving, at least the last couple of days since the E36 showed up, has been relegated to outdoor duty. That'll do it. Just throw this here. Man, if I'm gonna keep washing here, I'm gonna need to get some sort of water softener. This water here is not good. It's pretty hard. All right, we'll let that sit here. We'll go out and start working on our wheels, but first, we've gotta set up our hose. It's kind of misty out here, so I'll probably drive the Civic today. And this is a 100-foot hose, K1322. This is the first time I've actually, since coming out with the 1322, because remember I had the K165 at my house at the wash bay. This is the first time that I'm actually using a 1322 regularly, you know, personally to wash my personal cars. But man, it's such a great experience using a Krenzla. It's even greater. Shoot, which one of these nozzles is the right one? Oh, it's on here. Never mind, we're good. And then you're using these Mosmatic fittings, they're so good. If you still have the MTM fittings, you want to start your process of replacing with these Mosmatics. They're really great. This is actually pretty darn perfect wheel washing weather. It's like 58 degrees, a little bit chilly for my liking, but it was kind of misting a little bit. Oh, I gotta turn the pressure washer on. I want it to work. Let's try this Marilex thingy while we're at it. You know, since using a foam cannon, I find that having a foamer is not really necessary. 4.0, 40 degrees. Oh yeah, it's a little too chilly for me out here. All right, so I've got this diluted 50-50. I tried putting it in straight up and that didn't work. I mean, that's one of my requisites for a foamer is that if I'm gonna do that, I wanna be able to use it straight up, and you can't. Let's pump it all the way up. I'm assuming it will let me know. No, I'm done. I'm done pumping. So I've got the white tip in here. So I think if you don't have a foam cannon, this would likely be preferred, but certainly I tested this out. I certainly like this more than the IK, but again, I'm still going here, whereas with a foam cannon, I would have been done minutes ago. Hey, but at least it lasted the whole time. I wonder if we filled up the bottle, filled this thing all the way up. This handle's pretty cool. Should I force myself to use it on the whole car just for science? Yeah, let's see if it hangs on here. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, the E36 is here. It's what I expected from a quality perspective and a melty perspective. But we've been ordering OE BMW parts bonanza this week, getting bushings and bulb joints and everything you can imagine, all kinds of interior parts to get the thing dialed to spec. So yeah, I'm disappointed that I don't really have the ability to get new LMs. So we're gonna do E88s in silver. And then they also don't make, so this made my decision for me, they don't make yellow, 232 millimeter version of Brembo GT. So I mean, I could have it custom done, but they make silver and black. So I'm just gonna do black. The silver would be cool, but the silver has red lettering. So I mean, I guess I could just have something custom done, but you know, this foam from the foamer is a little bit more clingy and a little nicer, but than the foam cannon. So that is a positive. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? I mean, I don't really find a need for one, but if you want me to carry it in the store, I'll do it. I just have a really hard time putting things on my site if I'm not using it all the darn time. You know, I feel like that's a waste. But I do know that the vast majority of people like to have a foamer in their cabinet, foamer and sprayer. And so I've used the Press-Sols, I've used the Marilex here, and I do think this Marilex is the best. Yeah, this is nice. Washing coated wheels versus the Tesla, which I didn't coat because I'm doing aftermarket wheels. I think my Vossen should be here soon. Wait till you see the Vossen wheels. You're gonna crap your pants. Some of you are gonna love it. Some are gonna be like, what happened to our Matty, he went crazy. It's gonna be so good. Oh, look at the 90s back there, man. That's sick. What's up, 90s? Hello, 2020 GT4. Yeah, I do like this stool. I mean, it's not perfect because this is too big, but if it does as well as I think it's gonna do, we'll get them to make a smaller one in the future. So all of us early adopters will finance the purchase of the smaller one for the rest of us. So we should have them in the store this week. One advantage of using the foamer is then you don't have to switch nozzle or switch over to the foam cannon, but I'm gonna have to pump crazy. It loses its pattern as it loses pressure. But see, this one has like a nifty little box, little storage spot here where you can store other tips. And same thing back here on this side of the handle. You pop this off. You can store your other foaming things, which I'm using the white tip, internal tip. It's just a little harder to get inside the wheel. So yeah, it's not terrible. So, what else is going on? Oh, no, just nothing. I'm just laying around on the couch. So, we've got a couple of major hires that I'm working on. You'll see in the future. You know, you'll know first inside the hex, but we're about to make, I think, our next major move toward becoming a household type, niche household type brand, and moving toward, you know, I have no interest in making franchises or making locations all over the place. We're going to headquarter it here. I'm going to build a design and install team for garages here locally. And then we'll choose, you know, a dozen or two garages nationally to fly around and shoot video on. But the main purpose, I think, you think about like the, I forget what the show is called on Netflix, but McGee & Co. Or like Chip and Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper. You think about that model, which is accidentally very similar to what my model is, in that they made content around their hometown, around their niche was to buy houses and flip them, and then eventually it led to a product, a need for a product creation, and then you saw them evolve, or they were just kind of doing it willy-nilly, and then they started doing drawings and likely had drafters and architects on staff, and then they started likely offering design services formally, and then all of that stuff, all of the content that they created around their design is what drove business to their scalable business, which is, think about it, most people aren't going to be, they always talk about on TV how, well, it's in my budget to do this or that. Most people don't have 50 grand laying around to do these budgets like they talk about on TV, which is nonsense. People put 20% down if they're lucky, in most cases 5% down or 10% down on an FHA loan or something like that, and then they slowly do upgrades. A lot of times they do mess ups to the house and make it worse, doing some DIY crap. But regardless, let's say in the fixer-upper case, so they're doing 15 projects a year, and that those projects help them gather data and know what they need for their store and for their product line. And then they take that information and they make pillows and they make, my wife bought all kinds of crap, salt, pepper shakers, and all the accessories that go in the house. And then that ends up in Target, which I don't intend on doing that, but it drives people back to their site. Like McGee & Co. sells lighting, they sell pillows, they sell, shower curtains, they sell all the stuff that they've learned from doing design. And that's the scalable business. That's the business that scales up so nicely, where lots and lots of people can buy a couple $1,000 worth of stuff, but not that many people can pay $100 grand to have their house redone completely, all at once. So what we're doing, and so if you're a young guy out there and you want to be the next Jeff or the next Tommy or the next Kyle, if you're interested in that, you want to come work here, we need to hire someone to come in and take some of that weight off of Kyle and Tommy and Jeff. So, and then, Lewis is already working on that and and we're going to call it something different, but let's just call it order finder, customer service. So Kyle can start to work even more on formalizing a real design process so people know what they're getting. And we can deliver, we need to get some quotation software and stuff like that where we can help people really put together their dream garage. And so if you want a job here, it's freaking awesome. So just hit us up, just shoot me an email, Matt at Obsessed Garage or Kyle at Obsessed Garage. If you're smart, you'll email Kyle and say, hey, I want to come work for you. So that's the plan. We have a backlog of designs, and if you do want your garage set up and figured out, right now the way we do it is that if you want to do it, you just buy the stuff from us. We're asking you to be honest, and we don't charge for design and layout. We just sell you the product. Can't do this anymore. Watch this. Takes freaking 2 seconds. Going on here. Yeah, you do have a little less control, and notice it's not foaming as much. That's using straight up brake buster. No dilution. So yeah, if you want a job, let us know. We're moving into the yarn building. We're gonna have a really awesome, you'll see. We'll be sharing all this, but we're gonna make a really cool Silicon Valley style setup over there. Come and join us for the potential. And hey, if you come and you want to learn, or even better, if you're a architecture student, you want to come and use your passion for cars and garages to design your life around and come build them for us, hit me up. So that's the intent, is to build out this because we're getting closer to having the culmination, the completion of a product line, an end-to-end solution. Now, I'm never going to find the bottom of everything for the garage, but we now have enough things where we can outfit 90% of the garage with tools and lights and flooring and all kinds of stuff. And there's all kinds of ancillary stuff that I want, like floor jacks and paint and trim and all kinds of stuff. But we are at the place now where I want to hone in on providing the solution that I know that people want, because I want it. I want somebody to draw out my garage. I want somebody to work with tell my contractor what to install. I want somebody to provide all the stuff and be the source for professional grade things in my garage. So that's what we're making. So almost all of what we've done, a large percentage has been all organic. Meaning that I make these videos, you guys watch them, and then you respond by supporting the cause. Most of the stuff you could buy anywhere, but thankfully, most of you have honored the source of the information. It's pretty darn chilly out here. Look at these guys. Boom. 90s Bonanza. That Civic does look good though. Look at that thing. The Civic giveaway is almost over. So while we're working on building out the design idea, we're also going to be setting up design. What the heck is this thing stuck on? We're also going to be setting up a design it yourself platform. Because again, we can only serve so many people. If you're in the service business, how do you figure out a way to serve more people, especially if you provide something unique? How do you figure out how to not be in the labor business and be in the business of providing solutions to people who maybe don't need a bunch of your time, they just want to know what you know. Like, for instance, the custom install pressure washer. We're not going out and installing it at everybody's house. Just showing you what you need to do it. So how can you, if you're a consultant, if you're a financial person, if you're if you have an insurance business, something like that, or you're in some sort of service where you're pressure washing or you're detailing or something like that, how do you figure out how to provide that? Especially if you love it, how do you figure out how to provide that to a larger number of people without you having to work until you're dead, dead 20 years too early? Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't know how to do this in the beginning. I thought I was going to build a detailing business and have that as something. Until I realized that detailing is something I love. This washing cars and things like that is great. And detailing is certainly a primary focus of mine in my life and sort of the way that I live it, and keeping things clean and organized. But the garage is the bigger picture. Detailing happens in the garage or next to the garage. But detailing other people's cars is so limited in your ability. I mean, even if you hire a bunch of people, it's such a difficult business to not train up your competition. Train up your next guy. You're going to teach him everything you know, and then he's going to go hang a shingle 2 doors down and try to steal all your customers, because the only way he knows how to get customers is the way that you taught him. And so that's such a tricky thing to do. So how do you figure out how to transcend that, if you will? And it's not easy. It's not easy to figure out. And so that's why I sort of feel like I finally caught the vision for, what it is I'm doing here. And so while Kyle is working on design and building that out, Tommy's working on revamping our process. You know how complicated it's become. We've simplified the process of buying a pressure washer quite a bit, at least centralizing it, and now we need to streamline the process and take a lot of the redundancy out of the site. We built this one step at a time. So how do we get the redundancy out? So Tommy's working diligently on that. So Jeff's been picking up the slack to help with, answer people's questions and things like that. Lewis has helped he's starting to do some of the drop shipping stuff. And so we need another person to get Kyle completely out of the tech support stuff and just oversee it. So that he can focus on design. And so while they're doing that, Bryce and the media team and myself, we're going to be working on, I'm going to slow my roll here on new product creation, which is super capital intensive. It costs a lot every time I take on a new product. And so what I want to do is I want to finish the job, finish the Milwaukee project, get Cree in here and finish that up, clean up and organize the pressure washing system, get in the rest of the pressure washers that have come out here recently that I need to get data on. So that postpones vacuums and things like that, but get all these things done and available. And that way I can bring on my next hire, which will be January 1st, which will be, so I'm hiring 2 key people, one for the digital side and one for the actual install physical fabrication side. So you'll see more on that as I formalize that and figure that out. It's gonna be freaking awesome though. That's how we go from 18 million to 50 million in a pretty short order, I think. All right, let's rinse it. My hands are too darn cold to get the wand out of the holder. Thank goodness we're almost out of pollen season. Ugh, it's the worst time. We go right from pollen to a month later into love bugs. But we moved. If I would have known all this when I moved to Florida, all the bug problems, and it's really not that. Although we don't have the salt and all that, we don't have any reprieve. Your car is dirty the instant you drive it out the door. At least you guys, up north in different areas, you have some reprieve in the summers and stuff. Or you can have a car clean for like a week. Not here. Although, this time, Florida's always been the kind of the redheaded stepchild of the U.S., and now it looks like the darn place to be. Florida and Texas. We're really starting to get back to normal here, where you don't have to wear a mask around and stuff at most places, and of course, everything's been open since like May, but people are getting back out. It's great. Get back to life instead of living in a dungeon. So this could be your chance to get out of some repressive place that's telling you what to do. You're paying all kinds of frickin' tax. No state income tax. It's pretty awesome here, other than the bugs. Remember, lots of bugs and your car's always dirty. Lots of rain. So yeah, I made my first Cree order for my garage, and then we'll use that data to develop the product line. I'm almost certain I know what lights we need. We'll be carrying, I'll have like all the CR6s and all that stuff. So we're bringing all these commercial lights. Notice if you go online, you try to find it, you can't find any of it because they're selling it usually through like lighting distribution and the electrical contractors and stuff like that. And then it's a really complicated line, and so unless you have a really sophisticated lighting professional, which most people don't have access to, it's really complicated. And so I'm going to work through and simplify that. I'd say I'm probably 20% or 30% into it and being able to provide, you know, a reasonable solution, a quality solution where we've narrowed down the lights to what you might need. Because I also have to keep in mind, you know, I want to stock this stuff, and so I have to make a choice on which ones we'd actually want. And then we can always special order. We can special order out whatever, you know, if somebody needs something specific, like different color temp or something like that. So I'm going to stock the most common stuff, which I've had such a hard time finding. You're always buying from these like weird websites. You're not sure if it's actually going to come or not. So we're going to bring that commercial grade lighting into the garage. You know, I've been saying this for years, that the lighting solution I have is good and you're fine with it. It works great here at HQ, but I want something great with awesome, all kinds of awesome capabilities. I love this soap. It's so good. So at the yarn building, I really want to build a wash bay. So, not an in-tour, but a covered wash bay. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna make that happen somehow. Try to do the opposite of what I normally do. Focus in on getting all these projects completed that, you know, I know that you people want. Like lighting, Milwaukee, accessories, really having a sophisticated or useful information on tool grid and how to use it, to really hone in on providing more on what we have, you know, the product line that we have. And then we're going to be hammering in 2022 a lot of new solutions. Like for instance, I want to have a solution here for this thing where you just buy a it's like a, you know, it's all integrated where you just bolt it together. So
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you weld titanium by any chance?
Do I have what?
You weld titanium, right?
No.
No, you don't do that?
No, we don't do any work. I just detail cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no welding here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe I'll get into welding someday. What do you think? That's a little too real, man, for your boy. There we go. That's what I needed. Looks like I won't have to worry about the sun here today. So that's the plan. The new OG entry-level solution should be out here soon. I'm going to have a series here on developing a product. I've got some new friends up in Canada. I got lots of friends in Canada. I've got a new friend up in Canada who is an expert in manufacturing, having things manufactured. And so I've got a few ideas of some things that we can create that we're going to work on, and I'm going to share that process of working from concept to drawings and how to bring something to market while I learn it. Yeah, we've done that with the OG spec stuff, so I do have a little bit of an idea how it works. And I've worked with, you know, Press All and some other companies too to help improve products, but I haven't really come up with anything from scratch. So I'm going to bring you along for that ride. Yeah, but the OG active project should be the first iteration of it will be out here. I think this week we might set up our pre-order and have that ready to go. We'll see how quickly the guys can get that done this week. Yeah, so E92 E36 projects, putting headers on this car, redundant headers to complement the sole rear section. GT3 really isn't getting much. I need to put the edge guards on the seats. I'll make a video of that, I think. But the E36 project is going to be a nice long-term restoration project. And then we'll get an E46, do the same thing. Make a CSL type E46. And then we'll get a 997 GT3 RS and do the same thing. Actually, we'll get a RS 4.0 if all this stuff I say happens. Of course, we have the ever risk of, I think, impending major downturn. Just even if it's just a business cycle type correction, it's freaking coming. So anyway, the hope is that over this next 9 months or so, that I'm gonna try to extract capital out of the business to make myself super solvent for when that comes. So that way I don't have to fire a bunch of people and go bankrupt kind of thing, you know, run it into the ground. We survive. I think very likely in a recessionary environment, we'll probably just, I would hope that we would see our growth go away and we would just fight to maintain until better times, if you will. But it sure feels like it's coming. Who knows? If you live your life based on tax policy or who is president, you're gonna have a really sucky life. I don't give a crap about any of that. What else we got going on? So the yarn building, I'm gonna do it inside the hex when I leave here. Do a quick update on my vlog for my weekly vlog, and talk about the vision I have for how that's gonna be set up. It's gonna be really cool. I wonder how long this little setup I have here with these two buildings, I wonder how long this is gonna last. Meaning, we can't fit here anymore. So I am gonna keep the building up north. My other building that I made the gym out of that I shut down. A word of advice, buying a gym doesn't by osmosis get you in shape. In fact, I got in worse shape because I hated going there because it was too much to think about. But that's where we're gonna do bottling and hose assembly. We're gonna be making custom hoses for those that want it. I also have a major problem shipping hoses all the way across the country. Makes them so much more expensive than they need to be. Oh, that's the other thing. Talking to my friend Ka, he's been helping me search for a place. I'm gonna have to go up to Canada soon. I don't know, maybe you can tell me. I don't think I can go to Canada. Like, I don't think I can get in there. You guys up there are locked down, so I just have to wait, I guess. But we're going to be in Canada by March 31st of next year. So I got 1 year I've given myself to get it done. So go check out Kodawari Collective. Check out my friends up there in Toronto. So we'd be moving or creating a facility in Toronto. So I'm not getting my Heartland Ranch yet. Someday. Go check that out. We switch to DI water because I'm going to be likely building a place next door to them. And then we can work on co-developing, making sure we have appropriate product lines for, you know, all you guys have been yelling at me about having winter stuff. So we can collaborate on stuff like that. But I don't intend on living in Canada. The main purpose would be you can watch a video and buy all this stuff and not have to get freaking raped by duties and taxes and fees and all that stuff. Am I allowed to say that? Raped? Probably not. Not get hit up with too many fees. If you think about it, like let's say this Mosmatic gun, I bring it here from Switzerland. Actually, Mosmatic USA brings it here from Switzerland. So we ship it in here. There are import taxes and duties and shipping charges and stuff like that to get it here. And then we have the currency thing, whatever dollars to Swiss francs are, whatever that costs, depending on if it's a positive or negative at certain times. And then you buy it from Canada, so then you have another currency conversion. Sometimes it works out for you, but most of the time it doesn't. And then you've got to pay another set of duties and taxes to get it to you. And then because you're having to do customs and all that, it costs twice as much to ship. So instead, you'll be able to go to obsessedgarage.com. I'm going to bring the Mosmatic gun right in Canada with Canadian dollars with my Canadian bank account. I guess I hope I can do. And so I buy Mosmatic guns with Canadian dollars. I bring it direct to Canada, to Toronto, and then you buy it from obsessedgarage.com. It notices your IP, and you pay Canadian dollars. There's no currency conversions. There's only one currency conversion. There's only one set of duties and taxes, which I paid on bringing it in. And then you can pay reasonable shipping costs. So that's the plan. And it'll take time. I think it'll take another year or two to get the entire product line there, but we'll get the most popular things there quickly and work from there. And then after we figure all that out, then we'll go to the UK. What do you think? You guys ready for that? Because my guess is 1 out of 10 of you from Canada is buying and paying all the fees. But 10 of 10 of you would actually buy it if I had it there. And you didn't have to get hit with all that cost. The hose is pretty stiff. It's all cold out here, man. It doesn't normally bind up like this. I just haven't been managing it. Ah, crap. I forgot to bring the short tube again. I have the short tube for the Ego just sitting in my house. I need to bring it. Keep rushing over here to try to beat the sun, and then I keep forgetting to do what I need to do. Let's get this thing dry. I still think the 580 is the best one for drying. I'm telling you. Fill up our bead maker here. Need in my washing area, I definitely need some sort of workbench area. Got so spoiled by my wash bay. This is good, having to slum it a little bit. That way it's forced to find some new solutions. Got too much in this one cabinet. Shake it up. A little funnel. Yeah. Okay, next up is convincing Press All to make me some matching gallons. That's what I need. One step at a time. This and this. Do some drying. I think I can say this pretty accurately in that this is my favorite car. Just all around, you know, the GT3 is my favorite car, but just as an all around everything, like this thing is likely my favorite. I've been thinking about what if I sold this and got one and paint a sample. I like this color enough. The only thing I would change is I would have done the auto climate control, but it's not really that big of a deal. That's the only thing I would change to this. I absolutely love this car. The Soul exhaust is the way to go. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be Soul with Dundon headers. We'll see if that combo is too aggressive. I suspect it's not going to be much different than it is now, simply because I have over axle pipes on now. The Dundon cats will be higher flowing, but I think it's going to work out fine. A crappy weather day, but it's worked out for washing. It doesn't rain. If any of you GT4 bros have figured out how to get the water out of the front, I haven't figured that one out yet. Meaning that as soon as I drive away, shoot, we're gonna have to wash dry front to back, or back to front. The wind is killing me here. But you know, if I drive this car right now, it's gonna shoot water all over it. That's why I'm gonna take the Civic home. A couple last drives in it before it heads off into the sunset. So anyway, what else do we got to talk about? I feel like there's something funky on the surface of my car here. What is that? Something going on here. Something really bad happening. Is this towel? I don't think it's this towel. Something funky all over the back of my car. All right, bros. Sorry, the battery died, and I just kept on chatting away. But what happened was this wind is blowing, and what was happening is the bead maker was misting, and then I was getting all these little dots all over the place. You know, I haven't been slumming it with you guys out here in the driveway. And so this wind is whipping right across here. And so I was spraying the bead maker on, and it was misting and hitting like the front of the car and leaving little dots. And then it was drying because it's, you know, the wind is blowing right past. And so I got all these dots all over the car. So I ended up decon soaping the thing, washing it again, drying it again. And I was so angry that the battery went out and the car was jacked up looking. There's still some spots. So I'm not driving this, I'm gonna drive this and just wash it again, you know, next week or sooner, because there's still little dots on the car from my stupidity out here in the wind, the whipping, frigid polar winds of Florida here at 62 degrees. So anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry I messed up the video on you and didn't wrap it up. I dressed the tires, and then if any of you GT4 bros have a hack, what's going to happen is going to blow frickin' soap and water all down the car when I drive it away. Normally what I do is let it sit for 3 or 4 days so that can all dry out, but I don't have that luxury here today. So I'm going to clean up my mess and yeah, take the car home and go make the video, finish up the Inside the Hex video showing you a tour of what the yarn building looks like virtually. So that's all I got. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more crazy. I might wash the truck here soon. I think you'll like that. Do a long wash and talk on the truck because it needs some serious attention. See you soon.